Sure.
Absolutely.
I know that makes sense.
No, it does.
It does.
Perfect.
And to push it a bit further, Narayan, you now see surfeit of people claiming to be digital marketers, performance marketers, etc. And a lot of the time when we talk to them, they themselves lament the fact that they haven't really gotten an opportunity to understand the brand fundamentals, understand the why, but a lot of work is happening on data. Yeah. Do you think this is leading to possibly a demise of what we used to call as traditional or the right basic fundamentals of marketing?
I see where your question is leading to, but I would just I'll just sort of not reach out there and say that yes, it is dying or something like that. I think it's important to understand what's happening in right now. So again, when I go back, X number of years back, there was always this thing saying there's a lot of data, please examine it, how is it relevant? So I think the presence of data in the field of marketing has and the challenges associated with it have always been there.
Yeah.
It's just that the volume has grown, the sources have grown, and sort of our life has changed. So therefore, you're having digital data coming in. I mean, back in the day, there used to be many other forms of data coming in, and this always used to be a challenge. I think the problem once again is that marketing is both a left-brained science or a discipline and a right-brained one. It's not all left brain, it's not all right brain.
Yeah.
Right. So I think seen from that perspective, if you're only going to be, for example, data-driven, then it's again going back to the same analogy that you used of, say, exercise, right? If you just keep doing one body part, then
again and again,
something else is not strong enough, right? So in the same way, I think the lament that a lot of performance marketers may actually be saying is that, hey, you know what, I'm continuously sort of exercising this muscle, but what about this? So I'm only doing left brain stuff, but how do I learn, how do I get exposed to the right brain part of it?
Fair.
One thing I keep telling a lot of the young marketers and advertisers I meet is that a marketer's job is not to be creative. And that's what people get attracted to the most. It's more glamorized,
Yes.
the creative side. I say, you have people, you have a support system to solve for everything.
Yes.
Your job is to basically articulate the problem as clearly as you can. And that's the hard part. And then you see whatever fits in.
Correct. I think the role of a brand person, or let's say a marketing person, let me not say brand, a marketing person should actually see himself or herself as the conductor of an orchestra, right? You don't play any of the instruments yourself, or okay, forget about orchestra. I don't know whether people are musically minded or not, but say you're the football, right? You're the manager or you're the coach.
Right.
You don't actually go and play, in the sense that you're not creating that beautiful move which is going to result in one left-footed top corner shot. You're not that person, right? You're not playing, but you're able to see things at a sort of a more
Panned out
level. You're aware of, which player is, maybe getting fatigued.
Right.
And then you make the changes. You tell people you do this, you do that. I mean, you need to see yourself in that. I mean, that's the vision that you need to, ultimately that's the job.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Right.
That's a nice analogy.
I think it's also important to know that just as a sort of a further nuance to what you said, Sharan, you may not actually do the creative, but you need to have the ability to be able to judge it. You should have the ability to speak
Inspire
to an
it.
expert in that field with conviction.
Right.
And that comes with time. And that comes with actually a certain authenticity and genuineness that you need to bring to the table so that the other person will listen to you.
Sure.
Right.
So again, these are not skills that leap off an Excel sheet or, are taught so and so. But this comes out of a little bit of experience. You have to be in those situations to know that this is what is required. Again, you need to have curiosity. If you're not curious, then kuch nahi hoga.
Correct. No, I agree. Completely agree. Any particular, while we dive deeper into rest of your student, any particular campaign or any particular brand problem that comes to your mind which required the team to work through left-brained data and then possibly come up with something which is left brain as well as right brain as a solution?
Well, I can tell you the failures.
Any of this,
Anything.
anything
And
that,
that's
that our
again,
listeners
so
can.
uh, a long time ago in my Cadbury stint, there's this brand called Gems that
Right.
everybody has would have hopefully eaten and
Yes.
etc. All listeners would know
Gems
Gems.
Sudeep's also worked in Gems.
Yes.
Oh, you
I
worked
have.
on Gems, is
Yes.
it? Okay. So Gems. So Gems used to be a great brand. It used to, sort of sell all over the country. It used to be very popular among kids, and then they used to grow out and start eating other things, right? So how do you grow this brand, right? So all the research that came in said that the Gems brand is very strong and it means a lot and all the all that stuff that brand equity is very strong. We all knew that. So then in one of, I think, the workshops, or data showed that it plays, for example, sugar confectionery comes in various flavors, but Gems has only one flavor, right?
Hmm.
So then we said, okay, why don't we do flavors in Gems? And then as things evolved, the center, which is sort of brown chocolate, so it said, okay, look, if you use white chocolate, because chocolate has its own flavor, so then we'll be able to add more flavors. You'll get more variety, etc. Very good idea. So then was born this idea of launching fruity Gems, right? So again, see, from a left brain perspective, the sugar
Logically correct.
confectionery market is amazingly big. It's 100 times, Gems ka size. If you take 5%, आपका कितना बड़ा volume हो जाएगा. All that we went through. And then I exercised not just me, but with my team, we exercised our right brain. And then we leapt off and we called it Jungly Gems. Right. And we launched it. And that was very nice. In Cadbury, we could do such stuff. And we launched it.
Yeah.
And it bombed. It bombed like bombed. And I remember after the bombing, when we were sort of clearing the stock and giving sales promotion budgets and all of that, in one review, finally, I remember the boss at that time was Bharat Puri, and Bharat Puri said, "Hey, कौन जंगली जब अपने बच्चे को जंगली बुलाता है? Whose idea was this?" So, I mean, look, left, right, it just didn't work. So then we just moved on. In fact, there's a part 2 to that. Then we called it, okay, let's sort of have another go at it, and we called it Fruity Gem. But even that bombed.
Yeah.
Now, the moral from all of this is that whatever data will tell you as the opportunity, etc., you need to blend it with some amount of a sort of a reality check. Now, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. And in this case, the brand couldn't be stretched beyond its core of a chocolate heart, right? You could add some flavors to it, but it couldn't become a fruit flavor, for example, was the takeaway that we had. Now, things could change. Maybe the customer now is a lot more sort of open to it. But I just thought that's an example where, left, right, dono try kar liya, काम नहीं किया.
On paper, everything seemed logical and right. But what happens if the market is so different? And I think that's a great example for us to take away that despite doing everything right, there is no perfect science to get this going.
There isn't. And look, at the end of the day, there has to be a little bit of experimentation that I think needs to be there in the world of marketing and in the world of business.